Hey there, my name is Mr. Pareja, and I am a teacher at Roberts. I've been teaching for about 6 years, and for the last 4.5 years at Roberts. I graduated from Hampshire College. I was a career changer, and I love what I do. This year in 6th grade, you guys are going to be learning a ton about ratios and proportions. So I'm going to teach you how to make the world's best pizza. That's what I worked on this summer using 6th grade math. So first thing, you want to get on YouTube and search for the best, cheapest way to make a pizza oven, because pizzas always taste better when you cook them outside over an open flame. There you go, 10 bucks for all that. So then get on Marketplace, buy 300 bricks for 30 bucks. That's 10 cents a brick. That's awesome. That's super cheap, good for experimenting with. Next, you want to stack them into basically a box that's going to hold a fire. And inside of that box, you're going to put your pizza. The best way to get the most delicious pizza is to make that crust crispy. So, and you want it to get that smoky flavor. So what you're going to do is test now. Put a little mini pizza on a cast iron plate. See how long it takes to get that crust perfectly crispy. Check the bottom. If it's not crispy, put it back on. Write down how long it took. Write down the temperature. Make sure you got all these settings down. Remember, we're after the best pizza possible. Next, go to the actual pizza oven and try some real pizzas out. Write them down in a table though. This table is not something that your teachers invented to make you go crazy. It's there to help you with whatever problem you're trying to solve. The problem I had was that I wasn't eating enough delicious pizza. So what did I do? I made my own. I write down what temperature the oven was, how long it took, and finally, we got the most perfect crispy crust. Done. After you get all that information, put it in a calculator. The calculator does the work for you, okay? We're going to teach you to use that as a tool so you can be lazy and get the result that you want. Anything you want to cook, whether it's homemade pasta like this one, you got to get your ratios right. Flour to water ratio has to be on point. If you want to make Bolivian humitas like I did, since I'm from South America and Bolivia, you got to get your ratio of corn to water right. Otherwise, it's not going to taste that great. Even your ratio of spices have to be right. If you like ramen noodles like I do, you're going to play around with the ratio of corn stock to beef stock. Which ratio do you like best for your ramen noodles? If you want to grow the best tomatoes over the summer, then you got to make sure that your ratios of nitrogen in your soil are optimal for your tomatoes. If you don't get your ratios right the first time, that's fine. Mistakes are good. They're there to teach you. This mistake was actually
bacon in there.
This was fun. I burnt some bacon, but it looks cool. Sometimes mistakes are even tastier than when you didn't make a mistake. This taco was not as good until I actually burnt it just a tiny bit, and it added that extra layer of flavor. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is the 6th grade math you're going to be learning this year with Mrs. Patton and I is super useful. All these numbers and values should not scare you. They should get you excited about being able to improve your life. I love to eat. I hope you do too. And everything you're going to be learning this year is going to help you to understand how to cook, how to make stuff, how to model in mathematics. Whether you want 2 yolks, 3 yolks, 4 yolks, 5 yolks, you're going to understand what that does to the dough. We're not just going to talk about numbers. We're going to talk about these numbers and percents in relationship to food and things that you actually know about. Most adults that you ask on the street don't know how to calculate percent and proportions because they don't need to. They're not using that information. If you talk to somebody that cooks in your family, though, I'll bet you they'll be able to understand the ratio between water and flour when they're making a dough, for example. Bread is another thing that I love to learn about cooking, because when you play around with the ratios enough, you get the perfect crispy crust. Look at this. Listen to me cutting it. Perfectly crunchy, nice and soft on the inside. That, boys and girls, is how you make the world's best sandwich. My hope is that you get as excited as I did this summer about ratios and proportions in order to use it and apply it to anything that you enjoy doing in your life. I'm looking really forward to working with you and Ms. Patton this year.